Hi, my name is Silas. I'm 12 years old and I go to Garrison Middle School. I love to play soccer.
Hi, my name's Keegan Eisenhower. I'm 13 years old. I go to Garrison Middle School and I love to play the alto saxophone.
Hello, my name is Tess. I'm 13 years old. I go to Garrison Middle School and I love to travel.
Hello, my name is Sal Snow. I'm 11. I go to Garrison Middle School and I like playing video games.
Hello, my name is Stella Billingsley. I'm 13 years old. I go to Garrison Middle School, and I almost got a concussion from rolling down a hill.
Hi, I'm Janie Blackham. I'm 14. I go to Rogers Adventist School, and I love to jam out on my ukulele.
Hi, my name is Rodney Outlaw, and I'm a music production instructor and the podcast class instructor.
Welcome to T.A.G, Teen Advisory Group Podcast.
Our discussion topic today is Disney versus Pixar, where we're going to be comparing movies from each animation studio.
All right, so let's get started. Our first comparison is Mulan from Disney and Brave from Pixar. For this one, we're going to be discussing character personalities and development. So what do you think, Janny?
I would probably go with Mulan because I like Mulan a lot. And I love the characters. The characters are very lovable. But focusing on Mulan mostly,
No, I agree with you,
yeah. Focusing on Mulan, she becomes more courageous and more brave throughout the movie, and I really like that about her. And she's very open about what she's doing.
Yeah, she was like her own heroine.
She was trying to hide her true identity from the people there.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you can definitely see the change in personality and the development throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with you guys. I think Mulan did have the better character personality development just because in the beginning she was so worried about what other people think of her. In the end, she just became her own person. She's totally changed.
Yeah.
And her point of view of herself.
It's honestly really relatable because if you're so caught up in you and like what other people think of you, you're not gonna actually get a chance to be yourself. And you just gotta get out there and be you.
Yeah, totally agree.
Wow,
that's
deep.
That was really deep.
Well, I tell you what. Well, then, if that's what you guys think of that comparison, I got one for you guys. How about Lion King from Disney versus Finding Dory from Pixar, and the discussion point is story plot line.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm totally going with The Lion King because I love The Lion King so much, and I love how everything develops through the movie, and I'm really excited for the live action coming out. So I love The Lion King.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the live action, and I would agree. The Lion King just has such a good plot line of how Mufasa. Is that his name?
Simba.
Simba. I don't know the names. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
How he just develops out the stories and the ending. It's just all so good.
Yeah, Finding Dory for me, I just really enjoyed the story. I found it enjoyable to watch, and my siblings enjoyed it too, which is hard to do because companies it's nice they tend to make it either for little kids or grown-up people.
Yeah.
And so it was cool that it was available for both age groups at the
Such
same
a
time.
family
Yeah,
movie.
I have
so
like
sad.
an older
Yeah.
brother who's in high school and a younger sister who's in second grade, and so those movies that are like a good middle ground that aren't super little kiddish and don't have like mature content in them are definitely really great.
I bet my dad would even like it. That's kind of hard. My dad doesn't like that stuff.
Well, I wanna throw a curveball really quick. This wasn't in our discussion points. Do you think that the voices of the characters play a big part in the decision you make of the movies between the two?
Definitely.
Right?
Though she's just such a good person for Finding Dory.
Yeah.
She just her voice is so perfect. For
Yes, right.
Yeah, and
The
all
way
the whales
she's
and
made.
everybody, they were so perfect for their roles.
It just fits.
You have to have
so well.
the right
That's why
balance of goofy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I think for me it'll be hard to choose between those two because it's not just like the storylines themselves. like I think even further, it's like the voices, like because imagine what would happen if they pick another person to play that voice, right?
Oh, that
It
would
really
be.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine somebody
Think
else.
about
being
Morgan Freeman playing Dory.
That'd be difficult to picture.
there. Where's my mom?
I kind of want to see that now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I'm just like thinking.
Shout
now.
out.
I'm like, how would
Morgan
that
Freeman.
be?
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I still hold a little grudge against Finding Dory because at the end they put the end. They really missed that final pun. They could have said Finn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but some little kids might have not caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they would
okay.
have been busy dancing anyway. Like, you know, like
This song is such a bop.
It is.
you know. All right. Well, what about this one then? What about Zootopia from Disney and Monster Inc. and Monster University from Pixar with the discussion point, ready for this? Message movies sends to viewers.
That'd get really loud.
Actually, for this one, I'd have to go with Zootopia because I feel like in this town, it's supposed to. So in Zootopia, it's supposed to be. They present it at the beginning as this utopian society that's perfect and everyone in it is friends. And then as you go through the movie, it develops into this place where it's more like real life and there's scandals and crimes and cheating. And how the little bunny throughout, she has to develop and really become herself and be the best animal she is because all the rest of the animals around her are so much bigger and they don't think she's fit for the job she wants.
I agree, but for me, it's both. I both think they have a really good message that they send to the viewers. Monsters Inc. is like, Monsters University, the small guy with the green
love
one.
Mike
Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
I don't know how I forgot that.
It was such a good movie, though.
He just wasn't a scarer, and then in the end, he became really good. And it also shows like friendship because the other guy's name, the blue one, Sully. I'm sorry, I'm really bad
That's
with
okay.
names.
I'm bad with names too.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, he like he messed with the seismometer in the thing in the end, so like he did really well. So it kind of shows the friendship and also how Mike Wazowski never gave up. But then Zootopia also has that message that she worked so hard to be who she ended up being. It was just such both really good made
Like
movies.
at the scene at the end where Mike and Sully work together to scare off the park, the rangers.
Oh,
It's so funny. It's so
funny.
funny and like
I always forget
cool
about that
seeing
scene.
them work together like that.
And
like-
there was no way Sully could have did that on his own,
Yeah, he didn't know all the things
Sully
about it.
kinda
He can just scare them. He doesn't know how to like get them kind of like, oh, this is kind of like freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, because if you look at it, right, they are two evidently long-term friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to college together, so they become really more of like a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys have, but I know for me, like I have friends that I've been with so long that they're kind of like my cousins, or I call them like my brother.
I have
Right?
friends that are a lot like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel like I like Monsters Inc.'s message because like it shows that like it doesn't matter like who you are or like you can still like do something.
Yeah, they're both really good movies.
But who can tie though for me, because I have some like vague spots about Zootopia as far as like remembering like a lot of the movie. Like who can tie that into like, an example of like lifetime or real experience or
Like with both the movies.
with Zootopia. Like how we just compared like Monsters Inc. like with the friends that been friends for so long that they're like family. Like so from like a Zootopia perspective, like what would that message be to the viewers? Because I think we all can agree on what kind of the message was from the Monster Inc. and Monster University side. But as far as like Zootopia side, like what would that message be for the viewers?
Well, I think that It's like Nick, right?
Uh-huh.
And
fox?
Nick and Judy, how they're basically like opposites and they don't really have anything in common. As the movie goes, they work together and they like try to stop all like this big bad like the bad
Sheep.
yeah.
This was like they were from Breaking Bad.
Bad.
They have this like the night berry or whatever, night flower or something. They are making a potion, and it was making the animals go crazy, kind of. And like, they went back a few times, and it was like how
You get that?
the savagery, like
Oh yeah.
Like when the animals turned savage when they like got
When
injected
they-
with the poison night blowy flower or
think of the
something.
word for it.
Blowy flower. Well, you know.
I agree, but I also think Zootopia has like breaking stereotypes type of message.
Yeah.
Cause like Judy, like a stereotype of like bunnies never become cops then, and she ended up becoming one of the greatest ones they had there, and so that kind of just breaks stereotypes. And I also feel like it kind of breaks stereotypes between like girls and boys also though, cause like almost all the animals in the police station were all like men who were
they're really big, like,
really big animals,
buff,
and then Judy's some really small girl rabbit, and it kind of breaks how girls are also stronger than boys, and wherever they want to be are equally as strong.
Yeah, and she ended up doing so much better than any of them could or did. Yeah.
And I feel like it like broke stereotypes because they always gave the predators a hard time too. Like because there was a flashback to Nick when he like tried to be in a Cub Scout thing and
Yeah.
and they wouldn't let him because he was a predator.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job balancing out like how it's not just one group's fault over the other, that everyone has faults that they need to fix. Yeah.
Yeah, and that like just like you can't like label people like, oh, this guy's a fox. He's obviously the meanest predator in the world or something. World or something. The word or something.
like the sheep in the troop were actually the meaner because they weren't even giving him a chance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, like with the flashback and everything, it shows like people can change. Like Fox or no, like if you think like people like gone to like prison or something like that, people think of them like, oh, you're some guy who's like out of control and everything, and just doesn't have the right state of being. But people can change, and I don't think people think about that.
All right, that's really cool. So we can agree that Zootopia message to the viewers was really just a strong look at stereotypes, and Monster Inc. and Universal was really about like drawing connection as like friends and family, like two pretty good messages. Well, what about this then? What about this one? So I'm gonna say Moana from Disney
That's a good one.
versus Coco from Pixar, and the discussion point is gonna be the music soundtrack.
Yes.
Man.
They were both so sad though.
Well, I
Sad.
feel like
Movies.
Coco was sad.
Moana was like I feel like
Moana was
I liked Coco's soundtrack better because it kind of had it hit you in the feels more almost. You know?
And the entire movie is based around music, so
Coco really,
just-
they blend in the music really well.
And the entire movie is about music, so it just, I don't know, it's just more sentimental, and you just feel it more.
Yeah, I mean, for me though, Moana, without the music, like it wouldn't have been the same movie, because she was like every time, like each song had like a different like emotion or like part of the story that it told, and if it was told using just like dialogue or like a narrator, it wouldn't have been the same movie, and it would not have conveyed the same emotions.
Yeah, it wouldn't have had the same impact
Yeah.
to heighten awareness on certain emotions, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
They both have really good music, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very memorable.
I feel like they both have like good music. I like Moana's, but I feel like it's just, to me, it's not as important as it is in Coco almost.
Yeah, it's because Moana isn't really about like music itself.
Yeah, it's
Coco
more about
is.
the water
Mhm.
and
And
Coco
like getting
make
off
the
the
music.
island
Brave,
and
yeah.
like
Trying
expanding.
something new.
Yeah.
I like Coco a lot.
Yeah.
I love the plot. And Moana, the music for Moana is really catchy, and one of my friends actually memorized How Far I'll Go, and he'll be like walking down the hallway and singing it. Well, he did a lot last year. Anyway, so
Can he sing?
no.
Yikes. That's a burden on everybody's ears.
Far I'll go.
Silence, no. But I love the music in Coco. Like, it's very heartfelt and heartwarming. Plus, the movie was all about music.
Yeah.
I would say if Moana wasn't against Coco, if it was more like against some other Mulan or something like that, who does have music, I would probably pick Moana, just because it is very, it does have like very nice music, and the music definitely goes with it, but Coco's just all about the music, so definitely I think pushes it over.
Yeah.
Well, to me,
Just over the finish line.
Yeah.
To me, like I like Moana's songs better. Like they're catchy, but I just feel like if they were like a bigger part of the story, then I probably would have picked Moana over
How
Coco.
far I'll go. Not even trying anymore.
Well, then, since we just talked about a music soundtrack and compared it with two movies from each side, what about Big Hero 6 from Disney and Incredibles 1 and 2 from Pixar? And the discussion point is gonna be CGI picture quality.
That's a tough
So
one.
They're both very
You guys act
action-based.
like I just asked y'all to eat a bunch of vegetables.
Just give me some ranch and I'll do it.
Well, I think that Big Hero 6 and Incredibles 2 are definitely better than Incredibles 1, but I don't think that really has to do with like the quality of the movie. I just think that was more like the time that it was made in, since Incredibles 1 was made like before I was born, and Big Hero 6 and Incredibles 2 are really recent, and so they sound a lot more like new, and their CGI is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the animators definitely put more bright colors in Big Hero 6. Kind
Yeah.
of. Like there's like vibrant pink, yellow, and stuff like that. Well, Incredibles, like I feel like there's just not as much color in there.
I feel like they stick to more neutral tones, so it didn't pop as much.
In Incredibles 2, though, they did have the whole flashy seizure color stuff.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Probably
like.
took a lot of,
Oh my god.
yeah,
Must have taken a lot of time.
A lot
Yeah,
of
that-
editing.
And they had like
like a lot of seizures.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just coming to Pixar.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had that
so-
screen before the movie started where it was said like if you have like things that can like trigger seizures, like don't watch this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
but
wonder how many ambulances came to Pixar in the making of that.
Oh no.
but they're both really good movies.
Because it's funny, right? Like, because when you watch these kind of movies and you really get to notice how CGI changed, right?
Yeah, that's
Now imagine this when you're thinking about watching movies now, like a Big Hero 6 or Incredibles 1, Incredibles 2, and we get to talk about CGI. Imagine what CGI was before CGI. How many of you guys ever wore the 3D glasses to watch a movie?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we're here talking about CGI that's actually built into the movie itself, right? You know?
That's, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
pretty
I feel
crazy.
like, although I feel like since these are both they're not as much action, I would say, compared to like some like Marvel or DC movies, so it's kind of hard to decide which one has better CGI
Yeah.
picture quality, because like some like Marvel movies has like either some really bad CGI or some of them, like the new ones, have really nice ones. So much easier to compare, but
They probably have a lot bigger budget to do it with.
yeah.
Well, then let me ask you this though: do you think it's just the quality of the CGI, or do you think sometimes they have to use more neutral so that the picture and the CGI doesn't take over the storyline itself?
Like it's not so eye-boggling.
'Cause, like,
Distracts you.
one time I watched A Good Dinosaur, and it's like crazy looking at the water. It's almost hypnotic because it's like so real. Like you just stare at it in amazement. It's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Now that I think about it, I think that maybe why Incredibles 2 used like more neutral tones throughout the rest of the movie is that one like seizure screen. I think that if they hadn't done that like screen wouldn't have been like so shocking when it first appeared, and like continued throughout the movie whenever you saw that screen to be like very vivid.
Yeah, it wants to stand out. Like if it would have had like Tess said, the bright colors throughout the whole movie, it would have been just like, oh, it's another bright rainbowy color scene.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then you have to watch it a couple times to then go back and actually capture the storyline and meaning itself. You know.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, I
neutral
saw it a few
colors
times.
definitely
Yeah.
fit the story plot of Incredibles.
Yeah, like kind of like
too.
sets like a tone in the thing where it's like in the movie, not the thing, where it's like
Did you say at the sink?
not quite.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay,
quite.
okay.
Yeah, like the neutral colors like really set that tone where it's like, oh, it's kind of like a darker time where they're like trying to, like where the superheroes are trying to become legal again. And then on the boat in the end, it's a lot brighter colors, like to show like, oh yeah, we've accomplished our goal, woohoo! Let's celebrate, you know.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to decide.
Well, how about this? All right, let's do two more, and this is going to be our final two. So I'm going to go with Jungle Book from Disney versus Inside Out from Pixar. Pixar.
I love watching movies from Pixar.
Inside Out from Pixar. And we're going to go with, I'm going to let you guys, as you talk, you get to choose one or two of the discussion points. So the discussion points are going to be character, personality, and development, or were the movie emotions well developed? And I'm going to let you guys choose what you want to chime in, which one you want to chime in on.
I think we should do the movie emotions, just because Inside Out, the character personality development.
It's literally about the emotions.
Inside Out is just so much about the personality development. It's kind of not much of a competition.
Yeah.
Cause like the emotions like eventually change. They realize that you can have multiple emotions in one moment. You don't have to feel sad at one point or happy. You can have a sad happy moment.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
like-
always have
Emotions
to be
can
happy
be
to be
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Like how
Yeah.
Joy is like always trying to be happy, and then sometimes she just tries to control everything instead of only being happy. She tries to make sure that Riley is never sad, which is not part of being human because everyone's sad at some
No
point.
one's perfect.
Yeah, she kind of like overuses herself and kind of almost overinflates her ego in a way. Like she's like, oh, well, I'm the most important emotion because without
She
me,
said that.
everything is like horrible around here. And so she almost overinflates her.
Very selfish.
Yeah,
She
she's
said that.
not very nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. The emotions have emotions.
Right?
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
it's like there
But-
should be the Inside Out 2 where you see the inside the head of the emotion.
Oh, and it just keeps going.
But
I read
did you,
some-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I read some. I think something. I read something from Pinterest about how
Love Pinterest.
how Pixar is all about like emotion. So like Monsters Inc. University, how monsters have emotion, like Inside Out, how the emotions have emotions, and just all these movies, how like
What if fish had emotions?
yeah, and then
What if they
Monsters
do?
had emotions.
yeah, there's all that
What
line
if
of
emotions had emotions?
Well, let me ask this then, because I feel like me personally, I feel like being able to talk about your emotions and say if you go through 15 different emotions in a day or something, and just still come out the other side and know, like, that's okay, that's natural,
Puberty.
that's normal, right? But sometimes talking about emotions and going through different emotions throughout any given day can be kind of like a fragile conversation, right?
Yeah.
So do you think like putting it into like a story like this made it a little bit easier to understand that it's okay to have these emotions and it's okay for your emotions to have emotions?
It's kind of funny.
You know, yeah, like it makes it so that because like, you know, like sometimes for me, like I get frustrated at myself because I'm really tired. And it's like, well, you know what to do. Go rest. But then I tell myself, I can't because I got to do this and that because I don't want to let this person down and I don't want to I got this obligation and this and it kind of like putting myself last, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very easy to like get on yourself for being in a certain emotion. So with it being like in a movie like Inside Out and seeing it from the outside in, haha, that was pretty cool. It made it easier to understand that it's okay, right, to have all these feelings, except the selfish one. I don't like the selfish one.
Yeah,
Just saying.
It's kind of how, like, I feel like most of the time kids learn things, well, people learn things better. Like, if somebody just straight up tells them, like, okay, if you jump off a cliff, you'll die. I mean, most of the time people understand that. But then sometimes, like, with babies, you'll see them do this all the time, where, like, you can, like, show them that, like, if you drop your bottle, that it's going to fall to the ground. And that they have to keep experimenting. Does gravity work now? Does it still work? And they'll just keep dropping it. And so people learn things the hard way. And I think that movie like kind of like took you through like somebody else's story of the hard way.
Yeah. It's also very easy to relate to. Because, you know, like some people are like, oh, they don't feel this way. I should just shut up and not talk about it. But then that movie showed like people have all sorts of emotions and people can relate. Everyone's kind of the same. Yeah, everyone's unique, you know? Like, everyone goes through the same
Everyone's
thing.
their own
true.
special snowflake.
Yeah, very true.
But
very
they're all
true.
snowflakes.
Yes. Any last points?
I like the Jungle Book.
Oh, why?
like never talked
Jenny,
about it.
why do you like the Jungle Book?
I like the Jungle Book because, okay, I like the characters a lot because they're very lovable, once again. But not only that, you fall in love with like the main character in the beginning, and you're kind of going through a journey through his life, as well as some of the other characters. And if you've seen Mowgli, now that's like the real intense version of the Jungle Book.
Was the main character Tarzan?
No.
That was Tarzan.
Oh, my bad.
Tarzan was the star
Like,
of Tarzan.
what are you talking about?
That's a different movie.
Oh, my bad.
You're fine. But you see how all of the other characters can relate or take care of the main character who's not even like them. They take them in as their own, and Mowgli tries to figure out how society works and how he's different. And when he realizes he's different, things change a lot. And that's why I like the Jungle.
For the good or for the worse?
Well,
Kind of goes back.
if you've seen
Bad.
Mowgli, it kind of goes bad.
Mostly bad, yeah. He doesn't really achieve that much. Until the end.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
But it's a very emotional movie as well. And it's just fun to watch, you know, get different points of view from it.
Yeah. But now you guys say it goes bad for Mowgli, right? But does Mowgli in Mowgli, right? Do the character ever gives up though, even though it
No.
goes bad?
No.
Maybe that's the point they're trying to make. Because in life, stuff is gonna go bad, right? But that we gotta just
Good things
keep going.
come out of the bad things.
Yeah,
so.
very true. You know. Yeah.
Oh, I
You
got
gotta mess
deep.
it up to clean it up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, T.A.G. Podcast. It's been awesome. I can't wait to the next podcast.
Yeah.
Tag, you're it!